Good morning. Welcome to our Sunday service, your Unity of Delaware folks. Joe and Joanne here, and Bella and Buddy, and Valentino's queued up too. They seem to get more and more attuned to this hour and time, and are out here just a few minutes ahead of time, ready to join us for the Sunday service because we have religious dogs and cats, right? Or no, they're just in it for the treats, right, Buddy? All right. Thank you all for joining us this morning. Of course, we want to while we give people a couple of minutes to tune in, we do want to hand out some treats. So you'll see the excitement building a little bit here. Okay. Um, okay. All right. Valentina, we won't forget you. Valentino, can you come up here and get your treats? Okay. All right. These little cat treats have made all the difference. They helped us integrate our cats and dogs when we got the dogs much later than the cats. We'd had cats for 30 years, and then we got these guys as puppies at the same time, and it was traumatic for our middle-aged cats to adjust to that. So we had a lot of treat time together as an integration technique, didn't we, guys? We're still practicing that to this day. All right. Okay, I think that'll do it for right now, guys. We'll have more of those later, okay? Thank you all for tuning in this morning, as always. It's an hour, half an hour I look forward to of sharing a spiritual idea with you, of having a prayer and a couple of songs. And this being Christmas week, we wanted a couple of Christmas songs at least. So we asked our friend Ralph Leesburg if he'd send us recordings of a couple of Christmas songs. So I think he sent along a couple of his favorites, and I wouldn't be surprised if they were among your favorites too. So we're going to have one of those from Ralph right now. Thank you, Ralph.
Another one of my favorite Christmas songs is by Harry Belafonte. Long time ago in Bethlehem, so the Holy Bible say, Mary's boy child, Jesus Christ, was born on Christmas Day. Hark now, hear the angels sing, new king born today, and man will live forevermore because of Christmas Day. Trumpets sound and the angels sing, listen what they say, and man will live forevermore because of Christmas Day. While shepherds watch their flocks by night, they see a bright new shining star. They hear a choir sing, the voices seem to come from afar. Now Joseph and his wife Mary, they come to Bethlehem by that night. They find no place to born the child, not a single room was in sight. Hark now, hear the angels sing, new king born today, and man will live forevermore because of Christmas Day. Trumpets sound and the angels sing, listen what they say, man will live forevermore because of Christmas Day. Well, by and by they find a little nook in a stable all forlorn, and in a manger cold and damp, Mary's little baby was born. Long time ago in Bethlehem, so the Holy Bible say, Mary's boy child, Jesus Christ, was born on Christmas Day. Hark now, hear the angels sing, new king born today, and man will live forevermore because of Christmas Day. The trumpets sound and the angels sing, listen what they say, man will live forevermore because of Christmas Day. Yes, man will live forevermore because of Christmas Day. Happiest of holidays, happy solstice and Yule and Hanukkah and all the rest of them, every holiday, Saturnalia, Christmas. Happy New Year.
Okay. Am I on? Okay. Thank you so much, Ralph. We'll have another Christmas song from Ralph at the end of the hour or half hour. So thank you for joining us this morning. We're going to start moving into a time of prayer here, then, as we always do, with a little song. And of course, I invite you to bring into your mind any prayers you might be lifting up, any people or situations, or in your own life, in other people's lives, in our world, on our earth. We're very inclusive in our prayers and believing very strongly that the power of our intention of lifting up and seeing the highest and best has real power to influence our world and our lives. So healing prayers, of course, for all those dealing with the COVID virus, as well as with other health situations. Prayers for guidance for all of us as we leave this year behind us and move into the new one. Prayers of powerful, visualizing and intentions for wonderful breakthroughs this year into greater peace and wholeness and loving kindness among us all. We're all one, and
We are one.
that's our theme today, is about our oneness. So we're gonna do a little Janice Stanfield song. I've shortened it a little bit, but it's very easy to join in on the chorus. It's called "I Am One" by Janice Stanfield. Capo, I think.
Thank you.
We always keep that capo right here.
Yeah. Still never
Remember it?
remember to put it on. Ready.
I'm just a spoke in the wheel, one grain of sand, but it feels so right to be right where I am. One little part of a much bigger plan, and the longer I'm here, the more I understand. I am one. We are one,
Like the rays of the sun, when it's all said and done, I am one. We are one.
Sing that chorus again.
I am one. We are one. Like the rays of the sun, when it's all said and done, I am one. We are one.
I am one.
I am one.
We are one. Let's close our eyes for a moment as we go into an opening prayer together. Affirm that high truth, that very, very high truth of our oneness deep inside, how connected we are, how deeply we have been taught that lesson this year, that we are deeply connected. Your good is my good is yours. We are in this together, and we can nurture and support and lead one another toward greater light and peace and joy. We see healing for all in our world this day, healing for our very planet. We see wholeness and vibrant life. We see all cooperating, playing their parts in this elegant, universal design of life on Earth that we are each a unique part of. So we see peace and loving kindness blanketing our planet, filling our lives. We see vibrant health and wellness for everyone and for all species across the earth. This is the truth we affirm as we move forward through this powerful week and into the year ahead. Thank you, power and presence, for being with us always. Amen. All right. Thank you, Joe. That sounded pretty. with this theme, my title is Great Conjunctions. Of course, it has to do with the planets that are going to appear linked in the sky around sunset tomorrow night and for a few nights here, I think. But so thinking about oneness and this amazing design of the world, the planet, and the universe we're a part of. It's just an astoundingly beautiful design. And as you kind of study on that, you realize really how very much we are one. So I thought of this Peter Mayer song. I think we've done it a few times this year. It seems so fitting for the year we're living through about that very thing, our oneness. It's Peter Mayer's wonderful song, All the World is One. And if you know it, join in with us wherever you can, or just tap your feet, whatever works for you. Okay.
You can say that you stand apart, put a fence around your yard. You can build a tall rampart and guard it with a gun. You can dig yourself a moat, burn the bridge and burn the boat. It won't matter that much, you know, 'cause all the world is one. All the world is one. You can march in a big parade every Independence Day. You can raise up your own flag and sing your own anthem. It will ring out in the air with all the other anthems there, till the winds of the earth declare, all the world is one. All the world is one. Go and ask the Buddha when he's sitting under a tree. Go ask Walt Whitman when he's looking out at the sea. Go ask Alan Shepard when he's standing up on the moon, staring at that pearl of blue. Ask an atom in the breath you take. Ask the water by the riverbank. Ask a strand of DNA, it's written in your blood. Ask one life running in your veins, one light from one big bang. You can try and separate it, but all the world is one. All the world is one. Go and ask the Buddha when he's sitting under a tree. Ask Annie Dillard when she's up on Tinker Creek. Ask Alan Shepard when he's standing up on the moon, staring at that pearl of blue. You can take an outbound train, try and make a getaway. You can ride off like John Wayne into the setting sun. But earthlings don't leave town, they just go round and round until they figure out that all the world is one. All the world is one. All the world is one. All the world is one.
Nice. Great song by Peter Mayer.
It's a complicated song.
Yeah, he's a really good guitarist and an amazing songwriter. We happened to catch a live concert by Peter Mayer last night. Maybe some of you did as well. But if you didn't, you want to know more about him, go to his Facebook page, Peter Mayer Music, I think it is, or look up his CDs. We've got many of them, and he's got a wonderful Christmas CD, doesn't he, Joe? Yes. All right. Well, we are talking about our oneness. We're talking about great conjunctions. I just was really grabbed by that name. That's what they're calling this. I guess it's an astronomical term, really, from astronomy, of what they call it when two planets seem to conjoin in the sky. Even though they're traveling different orbits, they look like they're one in the sky, and that's happening tomorrow night. I think starting tomorrow night around sunset, 5:45 or so, and it'll be like, if we can see the sky tomorrow night, if it's not too cloudy, it'll be like one big light down near the horizon. So that's going on. In addition, and that hasn't happened since, I think, it hasn't been visible since the 1200s, I think, or at least that's what it said in the New York Times. Hasn't been visible to this degree. So That's something. So very auspicious time. And of course, this is the solstice. The winter solstice is tomorrow. Always such an important kind of turning point in the year. The longest night, the greatest darkness, and yet the turning point toward greater light, increasing light every day from here on, from tomorrow onward. And down through history, people have embraced this time as a powerful one, a powerful time for healing, for prophecy, for looking ahead and visualizing the good they want to experience ahead. And there's a lot of that kind of in the news right now going on. A lot of astronomy information out there about this great conjunction, this incredibly bright star. Apparently, many scholars think that was the Bethlehem star, from thousands of years ago. That might have been what they were seeing in the legends surrounding the birth of Jesus of Nazareth. I'm no astronomer, so I don't understand all of this, but I'm going to go out and look for that great light tomorrow, and it grabs my imagination what that represents for us at this critical time in our lives. There's lots of astrological information out there too, and I too am not skilled in astrology, but there seems to be a lot of emphasis on this time of the solstice and the great conjunction coming at the same time, that it's a time for an amazing new beginning energy. I saw that somewhere, and a great infusion of hope. It's a great time for visualizing good and for devising innovative solutions to old problems. Doesn't that sound like an auspicious time that we're experiencing right now? So I just kind of wanted to share a few ideas about that and how we might participate in that, this important time in our lives. And of course, as a spiritual teacher and spiritual seeker, I'm really grabbed by the lesson of this auspicious moment is unity. The very name of the church I serve, it's unity. It's about becoming one, about realizing our oneness, even regardless of separation or distance between us. It seems to me that's a powerful lesson of this great conjunction. The two planets, Jupiter and Saturn, aren't actually coming together. They're traveling in different orbits. But it appears that they're part of this amazing, elegant design of the universe. And as we gaze at them in the sky tomorrow night, if we can see them, it will be one big light. It's a reminder to us that we are all connected. We are all one. And just like Jupiter and Saturn, just like stars traveling in orbits, we can realize our oneness as well. We can come together in unity as part of the same light, contributing to the same light, even though we too might travel in different circles and follow different trajectories and be very different from one another. And I'm so struck by why it's happening this year of all years. Aren't you? I can't stop thinking about that, really. I'm not a believer in coincidences. I'm a believer in an amazing, elegant, universal design we're a part of. And so how interesting that this is happening, this powerful solstice moment, this great conjunction, at this particular moment when we need it the most, when we most need to remember we don't have to be the same to be one. We can have plenty of differences and be traveling in different directions and still agree we're in this together and we need one another and we're one. We are deeply connected. What is good for you is good for me. What is good for the animals is good for us. What's good for the planet, the sky, and the water is good for us. We are all part of this amazing oneness. And I think we're getting a powerful reminder from the universe about that right now. I also can't help but think, because I was an English teacher for many years, and you know what a conjunction is in English grammar, and I could not think about that as I've been reading and hearing about this great conjunction going on. In English grammar, conjunctions are little words that join together independent clauses. Things that could stand as complete sentences or ideas on their own. They link them together. And if they're similar ideas, we might use and. A conjunction would link to similar ideas, but it could be an alternate idea. So we might use or, the conjunction or, an idea that's another alternative, another possibility. Or if it's, we might even use it to link together two ideas that are really different from each other. One is an exception to the other, and in that case, we might use the conjunction but. It's a nice day, but it's going to storm later. And I just love the idea, sort of another lesson from the world of language that we can achieve, realize our oneness and our connection, regardless of how alternative we are, how different, how many exceptions. We can be part of the same communication, the same elegant conversation going on in the earth and among all of us living beings that abide here. We can affirm our oneness regardless of differences. We don't have to be the same to be one, to live in harmony. So it seems to me this moment, perched on the solstice edge, a longest day of darkness, but increasing light coming just ahead, this moment of a great light in the sky, this great conjunction, this great reminder for us of our oneness, with light and with one another, and our place as out of kindred beings in this elegant universe. Such an elegant design from the tiniest snowflake, which is so exquisite and so amazing, to this huge conjunction of our greatest, biggest planets way up in the heavens, Jupiter and Saturn coming together, all a part of this amazing, elegant design, and we're a part of that too. That's something pretty profound to reflect on. How foolish for us to be at odds with one another or harm our planet when we're part of such a majesty, such an elegant design. I think we're getting wonderful lessons from the universe right now. It can really be helpful to take to heart. So ideas for how do we enact that? How can we grab onto that solstice energy, that energy of this great conjunction, and participate in it and let it fuel our energy and guide us forward, strengthen us, heal our planet, heal our communities. Here's the several things that I came up with. First of all, want to take in this wonderful time. Go out at sunset tomorrow, December 21, and look in the southwestern sky right after sunset around 5:45, and Buddy would say, howl at the stars, howl at the moon. Go out and look for the great conjunction. And if it's too cloudy, look the next day or two, because I think it's going to be a possibility for the next few days, and let it inspire you. And even if you don't get a good glimpse of it the next day or two, let it inspire you what's happening out there in the vastness, and gaze at the sky whenever you can. We're a part of that, that glorious light that's out there. Let it center and inspire you. Second one is rituals and ceremonies are so important at this time. Down through history, people have always celebrated the solstice in that way. This turning point of the year, with ceremonies and prophecies and visualizing the good they wanted to experience moving ahead as the light was coming. We're going to be doing a burning bowl ceremony next week. That's one of those ceremonies for leaving things behind, moving forward, and visualizing how you want to do that. We're going to be doing a candlelighting ceremony on Thursday, our Christmas Eve candlelighting service, lighting a candle for all we want to lift up and bring greater light to at this time of great darkness. But as we move ahead into greater light, I hope you'll join us for that. These are important. People have always used these rituals to center it and steady ourselves and inspire ourselves as we move out of a dark time into greater light. We can meditate on our oneness with all sentient beings across the planet, with life everywhere, with one another. We can meditate on that. There's a wonderful Buddhist meditation I go back to again and again, metta meditation, loving kindness meditation, that starts with seeing yourself healthy, well, free from pain or suffering of any kind, thriving and happy and well, and then spread it outward to your loved ones, to your neighbors, to your close community, to people neutral, people you don't know very well in the greater community, and then to people everywhere across the planet, and then intentionally including people you don't even like or understand. They seem so different from you, but extending that same prayer for loving kindness ever outward until you have a great feeling within of being linked with one another and of having a heart of loving kindness and compassion and acceptance and inclusion for life everywhere around the planet. That can be a powerful way to center at this time and to create a vision of oneness moving into the new year. And finally, if we can take our practice off the cushion, in any way we can, and recognize our oneness, seek opportunities to recognize our oneness with each other, with people we don't know, with other living things, with the forest, with the trees, with the birds. Recognize our oneness, our connections with one another in tangible ways. And I think every day gives us opportunities for that. Depending on how we choose, what opportunities we choose to accept. I wanted to share just a tiny little story that my spiritual director I honor and respect a lot, Reverend Brummett, shared with me about a time. He lives in Kansas City, and it was a time he was out on this in the city on the street and heading into like a sandwich restaurant to pick up a sandwich to go, and someone asked him for money on the street, a person that may have been homeless and was certainly hungry and in need, and asked him for money. And Reverend Brummett said, I don't have much money on me, but come on in with me and I'll get you whatever you want, for lunch. I'll get you a sandwich, whatever you want. So they went on in and ordered up at the counter a sandwich. He got a nice big sandwich and fries and a drink, and they were chatting a little at the counter, and Reverend Brummett did his order, and then he was kind of getting ready to pay then, and it was the store owner there right at the cash register, and Reverend Brummett said, "How much it is, please? I want to pay for both of us here." And the store owner said, "Oh no, this one's on me. I'm paying for you both." Passing it on, recognizing that oneness. That makes me cry. We have opportunities like that, don't we? On the street every day, in our cities and our communities, where we can choose. How are we going to see it? Are we going to see our oneness, our connections with one another? Are we going to see our connections with the creatures around us, with the planet? We can choose that each day, and we can be inspired by this amazing time of year as the light shifts around us, and it begins increasing day by day. And as we look at those that great Bethlehem star in the sky, I hope we can see it. We're definitely going out tomorrow evening to do it. Let this time inspire us to move forward with greater light and peace and loving kindness for one another, recognizing we are all deeply connected. So let's take that into prayer for a moment, realizing we are one. Like the rays of the sun, like the planets in the sky way up there, like the snowflakes, their elegant design, and they're all part of this majestic winter display we just experienced. We are a part of this, our community, each one of us, the elegant design of our bodies and minds and spirits. We are one, and as we nurture one another, we nurture ourselves. As we nurture our planet, we nurture ourselves. So I see us recognizing this oneness and practicing it and experiencing it and expressing it and reveling in it more and more as we move into this new year of our lives. Thank you, God, for your unfailing guidance and protection with us as we do that. We are grateful. So it is. Amen. 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 I got an amen from the cameraman back there. All right. All right. A few announcements, and then we're going to have another Christmas song, I think, from Ralph. I think there's a women's group meeting via Zoom this Wednesday. There will probably be something in the comments section about that. That's typically at 11 a.m. And that would be the 23rd coming up. Joe and I are excited. We have this nonprofit music ministry, In Spirit, which we haven't done much this year since COVID came upon us, but we decided to have a solstice concert. As we have in the past, we used to have winter solstice concerts and summer ones. So we decided to have a virtual one and call on some of our favorite musicians who were all, half a dozen or so, and they were thrilled to do it. And each one is doing a song of their own choosing that seems to resonate with the solstice. They'll intro it a little bit and do that song. And we have 6 different groups doing that as part of our winter solstice concert tomorrow night at 7. So you would just get on Facebook like this, but you would go to the In Spirit Ministries, In Spirit, on Facebook page, and it'll come up, or it'll pop up, just on your regular feed as a live thing. We'll also kind of share it. We'll share it to the church page and maybe our personal pages. So I think you can catch it starting at 7, between 7 and 8, but maybe not a whole hour. I'm not sure it'll go that long, but it's a delight. Jan Garrett and J.D. Martin and Karen Drucker, Harold Payne, Carl Anthony, Claudia Carawan. It's going to be a fabulous, and Eddie Watkins Jr. It's going to be a really, really nice way of honoring the solstice tomorrow night. I know there are a lot of things going on right now, so there are other concerts, there are other things going on. So, take in whatever is going to nurture your soul, because that's part of what we do at this time to give us fuel going forward. So that we're doing that one from our nonprofit music ministry tomorrow night. Thursday we have the Christmas Eve candle lighting service. We're going to invite you to have a candle on hand, and we'll be doing the candle lighting just like we would have if we were able to get in together in person, as we have every year. So 7 o'clock this Thursday evening, Christmas candle lighting right here on Facebook Live. And next Sunday is our Burning Bowl service, so we'll be inviting you to reflect on what you want to leave behind and what you want to take with you and experience more of in the year ahead. I think that's it for announcements, except many thanks to you, as always, for joining us every week, for your ongoing support financially and in every other way for the church, and the prayer support for one another is so important too. Many thanks to Joe for his technical expertise back here behind the camera, and his musical talent. And just thanks to our whole community for the way we've continued to stick together as a one over this year. So let's have another song from Ralph, and then we'll close it out with a prayer for protection. Thank you, Ralph, again for joining us.
Are we on?
Yeah. You're on.
Happy holidays to everybody. One of my favorite Christmas songs, and hope one of yours too. Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, prospero año y felicidad. Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, prospero año y felicidad. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. Want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad, prospero año y felicidad. Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, prospero año y felicidad. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. Merry Christmas, Feliz Navidad, Joyeux Noël, Fröhlich Weihnacht, Melikilikimaka. Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Ralph. That was terrific. Looked like, I love the Christmassy setting you had there, Ralph, and looked like a Christmas-themed Hawaiian shirt, which, I'm not surprised Ralph managed to find somewhere. Thank you for those great Christmas tunes. That was a treat. So that just brings us to the prayer for protection. So let's affirm that together, shall we? The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well, and so it is. Amen. Thank you all for joining us. Have a great week. We'll be here Thursday and be looking for you, and then again on Sunday. Bless you.